Greetings and a warm welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I will guide you through the process of deploying a production-grade Kubernetes cluster on AWS using the command line powerhouse known as EKSCTL. No time to waste, let's dive right in. So begin by opening your terminal, Git batch. Personally, I use Git batch for my workloads, and if you are interested, you can easily download and install it. It's a fantastic piece of software. And so before we proceed, make sure to install AWS CLI and configure AWS CLI. There are two things: install AWS CLI and configure AWS CLI. And you also have to install kubectl. Kubectl is a command line tool for interacting with Kubernetes clusters, and you need to install EKSCTL itself. So that is the software used to provision the Kubernetes cluster itself. If you are not already set up, I will include the installation commands in the description below for your own convenience, so don't bother about it. So if I run AWS dash version, you can see right here that I have AWS CLI version 1.32.14 installed on my local environment alongside Python and protocol. So the most important thing is for you to have AWS CLI installed and configured in your local environment. So once if you are done installing AWS CLI, you can get that from the AWS official documentation on aws.com. Like I said, the details will be in the description below, so don't worry about it. But I would like to show you how to, after you've installed the AWS CLI, I want to show you how to configure AWS CLI in your local environment. Like I said, there are two things: installation and configuration. There are two things, so and they are both very easy. So let me show you how to configure AWS CLI. So head over to your AWS account, log in. I already logged in, and this is my console home. So come over to your user here, click this, navigate to security credentials. So this is coming up. Scroll down, then click create access key. Click create access key and accept the terms here and click create access key again. So once this is done, you have access key and a secret key. Please note that these two keys will only be visible to you once. You won't have the opportunity to see it again because it's a very crucial piece of information for your account. So you can easily click download here. If I hit this download, these two keys will save in my download file. So if I hit download now, you can see it's saving right there in my download files, and you can as well copy this, click here, copy the access key and save it in a notepad or wherever you desire. You can copy this here. I won't click this show button because it's dangerous for you to expose these two keys to the public. With these two keys, I don't know the extent to which any damage can be done to your account. So please, if you're working in a production environment, do not expose these two keys. So having done that, go back to your terminal. So to configure AWS CLI, what I need to run is AWS configure. Run this command, hit enter. It will request for the access key you just created a moment ago from the console. Paste it here, hit enter again. I don't need to paste it because I already have it configured here. That is why you can see the asterisk and the 4 alphabets. So paste what you copied, what you just created in the console a moment ago. Paste it here, hit enter. The secret access key you copied from the same from a moment you provisioned a moment ago. Paste it here, hit enter. Default region, I choose to have my default region as US is to. You can decide to choose whichever that is closer to you. Hit enter, and my default output format is JSON. So you can choose whatever one. You can choose text, tables, whatever. But I choose JSON. So hit enter. Now you are all set. Your AWS CLI is installed and configured. You should run AWS dash version that will give you the same output I have earlier on. That's AWS CLI version 1.32.14 installed. So the next thing for you to do is to install kubectl, which is a command line tool for interacting with Kubernetes cluster. I already have kubectl installed. You can go to the official documentation of kubectl to get the command and download it. However, like I said, you have it in the description below. So if I do kubectl version, it's coming up. You can see I already have kubectl installed in my local environment. So the next thing for me to do now is to install EKSCTL. I also already have EKSCTL installed on my machine. If I do EKSCTL version, that's it. It's running on my environment. Like I said again, the installation command will be in the description below. Don't worry about it. So the next thing to do now is just state out the EKS command line to provision your cluster. So to provision your cluster, so I will just copy it out and input it here and give you an explanation of what the command is going to do. So here is the command: EKSCTL create cluster -- name demo EKS. This is the name I want to give my cluster, and -- region. I want this cluster to be provisioned in US East 1. You can provision your cluster in whatever region you so desire, and you can give whatever name you so desire for your cluster. And -- node group, I want to name my node group my nodes. You can as well give any name you want to these nodes here. And -- node type is t3.small. This is the type of node types are just EC2 instances. So depending on your workload, the workload you want to provision, you will choose the type of EC2 instance for your node group. So the one I'm choosing for my node group is T3 small. And -- one group here is saying that at any point in time, I want 2 node group to be provisioned at all times. You know, Kubernetes have self-healing capabilities. So when a node goes down, it is able to create it again. So I want not, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to provision 2 managed nodes for the sake of this tutorial. So the next thing I do is just hit enter, and in about 8 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast your internet is, you will have a cluster running in this desired region. So for clarity's sake, I'll just head over to my AWS console again and show you guys that there is no cluster with this name called demo EKS running in my US East 1 region. So let's check that out. 1 second. Let me go back to on. So if you see my US, I'm in US East 1, and if I try to check if I have any cluster here, it's loading. From what you can see here, I have no cluster running in this region. This is my US East 1. So by the time I'm done with running the command in my terminal, I will have a cluster here named demo EKS. So without taking much of our time again, I'm just going to hit enter. And like I said, this is going to take between 8 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast the internet is. So to save us time, I'm just going to pause the video and come back when this is ready. Then we move on to the next step. So guys, after about 8 minutes exactly, our Kubernetes cluster is provisioned. You can see here EKS cluster demo EKS in US East 1 region is ready. So if I head over to my console now, and if I'm still in US East 1, you can see And if I do a refresh here now, my demo EKS in the same account, my demo EKS is active and running in US East 1. And if I head over to my EC2 instance to check on my node group, now we can do, if I click on clusters now and you come to resources, they come to compute, you can see my nodes created 8 minutes ago. These are my worker nodes created 8 minutes ago. And if I head over to EC2 instances, you can see instances running. You can see the demo EKS I have a T3 small. This is what we created a moment ago. These are the two worker nodes. These are the two worker nodes. So the next thing now is, how are you able to access the cluster? How are you able to access the cluster you just created in your region? So the next thing to do now is to head over to your terminal. I'm just going to clear the screen now. I'm on the terminal now. So the next thing is you need to download what we call a kube config file. So when you download this kube config file, kube config will bring your cluster into your machine. It will download your entire kube config of that cluster into your machine, so that you are able to interact with the cluster using EKSCTL, which you must have installed earlier when we started the tutorial. So if I hit enter now with this AWS EKS update kube config -- name, that is the name given to my cluster when creating it, -- region US East 1. So AWS, since I have AWS installed in my local environment with my access and secret keys, so AWS will be able to do API calls on my account to pull and download my Kubernetes kube config file into my local environment. So if I hit enter now, you can see updated context. That means I am now able to interact with my cluster. So the reason why you had to download EKSCTL earlier on was that you will be able to interact with the cluster from now. So if I do EKSCTL get nodes, you can see these are the two nodes I created. These are the two nodes I created when I ran the EKS create control command. So my nodes are running and they are in ready state. If I do EKSCTL get ports,
I found this on the web for gives.
You can see there are no resources in my default namespaces. So if I say EKSCTL, sorry, that was the other Siri on my phone, so I'm sorry about the sound. EKSCTL get ports, now get NS. You can see these are my default namespaces. In my cluster. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've been able to impact a little bit of knowledge into you. If you don't know how to create a production grade Kubernetes cluster, I hope you are able to do it now on your own. Please try to get your hands on and do this on your own. And if you have any problems running this, please do make a comment under the description. I will always respond and offer you help. And before you do that, you should also try and do a bit of troubleshooting, because when you troubleshoot, it helps you to learn. And this is one good thing about cloud computing DevOps. The moment you be ready to make mistakes. When you make mistakes, just stay calm, do your visual evaluation and be sure that you are inputting the right thing. Linux is very case sensitive, and you can just be making just a minor mistake. So please try this out on your own. I've made tons of mistake years back when I started DevOps and trying to do all these things. So, but if you are not able to get through with it, please put in a comment on my under the comment, and please like and share this video. Please, I'm just getting started doing these videos, and I won't stop. I want to keep impacting knowledge, and I'm still learning on my own also too. So please again, make sure you do this. And one more thing before you go, you need to, so guys, when you're done with your hands-on, you need to delete this resource, because Kubernetes isn't free. So you don't want to, if you don't want to um, get into trouble with a lot of debit on your credit card, please you need to delete this resource you just created. So in one, that is the power of EKSCTL. So with one simple command, without going to the AWS console, I can destroy the entire cluster with this command: EKSCTL delete cluster dash name demo EKS dash region US East 1. With this command, I can take down the entire cluster. So please make sure you run this when you are done with the workload, so that you don't get charged for too much. And for the little hands-on you've done creating this cluster, you probably get charged under $1 or so. So it's worth it. You can make money without spending money. So please make sure you don't have to go to the console to delete anything. With this command, you are good to go. Everything will be brought down. The node grow, the Fargate, everything will be brought down with this simple command. So this is the power of EKS. And if you want to know more about the case, you can go ahead and read about the official documentation on their website. You will have it there, so you can read and nourish your own knowledge about the case and the power of what it can do, as well as kubectl also. So guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to. The next video is going to be about how to deploy Kubernetes cluster using another powerful tool called KHOPS. So see you guys then. Thanks for watching. I'm going to delete my cluster now. You can see it has started deleting the entire process of deleting the resource. So thank you once more for watching, and see you guys later. Bye.